Georgie streamed. Interesting. Yeah, let's go Capablanca move by move. Okay, so this is a chess stream. So this one I can kind of reach at because I have multiple tabs. So this should work. How does this look? Oh wait. Let's see this. Okay. How does this look? Wait. How did I do this before? I had. Oh yeah, I know what I did. I had to move chat. Why isn't it moving my other? All right. All right. So, Capablanca move by move. Next. Okay. So let's see. What game are we on? That is my question. We are on probably. Let's check my YouTube channel. Your videos. Let's see. We're on number 9. Okay, cool. So chapter 9. This is going to be a very interesting one, I'm pretty sure. Let's see, how does this look? Does it hide the chat? Or I gotta hide certain aspects of this. Oops. Well, in any case, I think it's fine. Okay. All right. So this is game number 9 of Capablanca Move by Move. This is played in Buenos Aires, 1914. It was a casual game between Capablanca and Mr. Israel. This was the Birds opening. 1914 was an interesting year. Let's see. I know Rubinstein was at his peak in 1912, if that makes any sense. So let's see. And so we can compare this game with Fischer's game. Fischer actually plays this b3 move. So Fischer actually played the game against Mecking in the Palma de Marelsa Interzonal in 1970. This is Fischer. He goes for b3, d5. Fischer goes for this e5 square control here. Bishop d7, castles, and d3. So he has this little center. Maybe he can play c4 at some point, but he's got these little center. Yeah, there's some really nice control here. That's the little center. He could probably play c5 at some point. Bishop e7. And so Fischer now exchanges here, clarifying control of this e5 square. So the knight goes to e5. Rook to c8. He doesn't want to double the pawns. For example, Fischer doesn't necessarily have to keep the knight like this. He can actually go for this, right? And he can try to put immense pressure on those c-pawns. That's one way things could have gone. So rook c8 was played. Knight d2, castles f4. Fischer's opponent wants to exchange the attacking knight. Then Fischer goes queen g4, applying pressure to g7. Threatening knight takes on d7 here. His opponent takes, Fischer takes, and then his opponent plays bishop f6. Objectively, perhaps g6 could have been considered here, but this is also not very good for black with these new weaknesses. So bishop f6 is played. Fischer goes for rook f3. Queen to e7. He doubles on the f-file. All of his pieces are going on the king side, it seems. There's this monopoly of axes, kind of. It seems like, so there's this slight space advantage on the king side for Fischer. Maybe I could draw this better. But, it's got this monopoly of axes here, where, with the center kind of, not open. And this game's kind of close, so it's like splitting off the position in the board. And with split positions, it's good for the attacking player, especially if the play should be on the king side here. So a5 was played by the opponent. Fischer goes for rook g3, applying pressure to this g file. I'm not really sure. Okay, I don't. Okay, queen takes g7, bishop takes g7, rook takes g7 is kind of a threat, with the idea of rook f7 check after king h8. That's a threat. So his opponent takes here, trying to remove that threat. The author notes that Fischer has just achieved a winning position with remarkable ease. G6 could have been considered, but then rook f6. Author kind of stops here, but yeah, there's like ideas like this. So the opponent tries this very strong f5, trying to force the issue and try to give the king some air protection along this rank. Right? And there's a nice combination here. Let's see. So white to play and win. I don't know if this is too hard, but yeah, he goes, Fischer plays this, rook takes on g7 here, or queen takes on g7, then takes on s6, and he wins a pawn. And so, like, there's pressure here. e5 is under control, there's pressure here. This not easy to defend this position for black. Also, the bishop is bad. And so his opponent resigned. So this is Fischer's understanding of this particular system in opening. Just direct play, go kingside attack, central control, and conversion. Nothing too difficult. Very clear. He makes it look easy. And so now back to this. Capablanca plays this f4 move. His opponent plays at d5. Very classical way of meeting this. Knight to f3, knight to f6. Capablanca plays b3. Going for a clear development, control the dark squares, and yeah, there could be some nice attacking chances here. So his opponent plays e6. Capablanca goes bishop e2, and his opponent plays c5. And so far, we don't have this bishop on b5 yet anyway. But it seems, yeah, all of his moves are directed towards the c5 square. So let's see. Capablanca plays e3 now. And his opponent plays knight c6. Oh, hello, Grandmaster Noob. How's it going? Welcome. I was going to go through another game on this. I haven't done a video on this in a while. I might put this on YouTube, or I'm going to put this on YouTube. So, yeah, just going through this really amazing book. And so, yeah, I'm doing a Fischer game where he plays the bird opening, and it seems like his strategy is focused more towards this e5 control. And Fischer, actually, Capablanca, I think he's my favorite player. I'm not sure. It's all about like trying to get value out of the games though and learn for sure. This is a quick glimpse of how Fischer took Fischer's approach was also very similar to Capablanca's here. Okay, sure. Awesome. Yeah, this is just I'm gonna show you a quick way Fischer played this as white. So Fischer controls this e5. Oh, a tournament! Nice, congratulations or good luck on that. Yeah, actually, yeah, no obligation to stay. Are you preparing for people? I'm wondering, do you research your opponents? Because, sorry, maybe get out. I'm doing a video. Oh, 1,000. Okay, so it shouldn't be too hard then. That's cool. Nice. That's gonna be a great tournament then. Good luck on that. Good luck. All right. Yeah. So Fischer, yeah, this is how Fischer plays this. He goes for this attack. And believe it or not, Fischer's game, it goes to the king side, which is really interesting. His opponent played more objectively correct, I think, than what Capablanca's opponent had played. And he plays this really sound defense, but Fischer found these modern ways to stabilize that. Okay, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. All right, so see ya. Thank you. Okay, so that's just a quick glimpse of Fischer. And so now we're at Capablanca here. So c5, e3, knight c6, bishop e5. And so he doesn't want to allow these pawns to be doubled, so this makes sense. Bishop to d7. Maybe he's gonna get a strong bishop, like in the long term. That's another reason. Like he's anticipating this exchange, this bishop on b5, and he wants this bishop to become active on maybe c6 or something. But in any case, it's geared towards long-term chances, and even if it's slightly destabilized development, there's good long-term chances. So, Capablanca castles, and a6 was played. Yeah. White was actually, believe it or not, this a6 move didn't need to be played. White would have taken actually unprovoked on c6, I think, at some point because it's more in line with the central way of the strategy of controlling this e5 square. So conceptually, yeah, a6, it was kind of the author didn't want to write dubious, but a6 didn't need to be played, and the same thing can be said actually. And so in this, one of these Sicilian books that I read, I think it was by Gawain Jones, I can't remember. On the Rossalimo, they actually take on c6 unprovoked also. Like, so for example, And like this is actually a way to play. This is a way to play, I think. You go e4, c5, knight c6, bishop e5, and like if g6. Yeah, bishop takes c6 is recommended. And yeah. And so a6 and like yeah, and so I think h3 here. And yeah. And in this particular position, um yeah, there's no issues for white. Black has also got the bishop here. Very balanced position, but in any case, yeah, we take on c6 unprovoked here, and this is a actual theoretical thing. And so logically speaking, a6 here didn't need to be played. Of course, he didn't have the experience of maybe hundreds of years of chess research, but still. So in any case, let's see. I seem to have lost my place a little bit. Okay, there we go. So Capablanca exchange on c6, and then Capablanca plays this c4 idea. This is a move that, yeah, this is a very good move. And so one point is that d5, d4 is not necessarily possible because of this taking. And if takes, then there's pressure here. Interesting. It's a very key central attacking move. Like attacks the center directly. The author mentions, though, that white shouldn't be in a rush to open the center after handing over the bishop pair. The author actually prefers Fischer's treatment with pawn to d3, knight b d2, and knight to e5, as we have seen. That's more in line with this initiative and attack. But Capablanca wants to, maybe attack the center specifically as a target, like a pawn structure target. So maybe that's why he plays the c4 idea. And he's logically saying that if black takes on c4, then the b file is good for him, I guess. Knight d7 was played. I think. Oh, there's no move in the database here, but I think maybe taking. Yeah, d takes on c4 is actually kind of a slight issue, but yeah, both sides. Yeah, I think this is about equal here. Knight e5 is still a thing. Um, this is just a very dynamic and balanced position. That's all I can say about this. But anyway, I think, yeah, intuitively speaking, I think this is like the only very microscopic slight issue with this c4 move Capablanca played, but it's not even that bad. It's, yeah, it's equal. Maybe slightly better for white. Knight d7. Capablanca plays knight c3, pressuring the center. Queen c7 was played, and Capablanca plays rook c1. So he's almost playing this like a queen's gambit in a way on that queen side, right? He's got this queen-eyed, like the rook c1's important, or not queen's gambit, but you know what I mean. Like this, the rook is anticipating opening the c file and attacking along there. But there is actually a stronger move than rook c1 here. Believe it or not, immediately f5 could have been played. This is more of a dynamic move. In a blitz game, I think I might even consider this because it's just, we dynamically tuned players are more quick to observe these weaknesses crumbling like that, like in blitz and stuff, or I don't know. Yeah, and so, and anyway, his opponent plays f6, and this is a little bit slow. And so Capablanca takes on d5, clarifying the structure now. You might play d4 at some point. He takes on d5. And he did play d4 here. And so yeah, he's going for the structural edge. He wants to take and then pressure here. And then yeah, it's an isolated pawn. This is very Karpovian actually, pretty Karpovian way of playing against this potentially isolated pawn. in the center. Um, and so yeah, the author writes that white opens the game and makes good use of his own soon created hole on d4. And so yeah, that's another thing. If there's an isolated pawn on d5, then the d4 square is weak too. And yeah, his opponent shouldn't have played f6. I think this could have, like, if he played like maybe probably bishop e7 here, right? I think bishop e7 at least, and he's a move away from castling, so maybe it's like equal, or like black is slightly worse probably. Um, Magnus I think mentioned, what is it? He jokingly mentions if you're 3 moves away, if you're 2 moves away from castling, you're lost. If you're 1 move away from castling, the game is equal. Like, and then maybe if you're castled, then you're better. I don't know, something like that. I can't remember what tournament he said it in. He was kind of joking in a way. So let's see, f6 though, and he plays d4. So he's opening the game for his pieces that are developed, but also he's ready to attack these weaknesses in the center. Um, So now his opponent plays rook to d8, trying to anticipate that d5 needs some defense here. Capablanca plays d takes on c5. And yeah, this his opponent actually plays wrong here. He needed to take with the bishop here. And if he took with the bishop, he's at least attacking here. And so maybe knight takes on d5 is what he was afraid of, I guess. Right? Probably knight takes on d5. Let's see what the engine says. Probably, oh, knight d4 is stronger. So wait, why does this not work? Queen d6, knight c3. Okay, this is just equal, or okay, this is losing. Or no, it's not losing. Oh yeah, this is losing. So this is a nice trick actually, in the position the opponent set. So he wasn't backing down. Or actually, wait, no, bishop. This is why bishop takes in c5 would be stronger. But knight d4 and white's still better here, just blockading. So anyway, knight takes on c5. His opponent didn't want to get the bishop in the way of the rook. That's probably the logic of it. He was too timid. And so knight to d4 was played. And his opponent plays queen to f7. And so yeah, this is the thing. White's actually threatening b4 here, pawn to b4. And then maybe, this b pawn can go to b5 at some point. So let's see an example of this. Like, so bishop to d6, Capablanca considered playing b4 here. And on knight to e4, trying to exchange away these attacking pieces, you can take and then play knight to e6, forking the queen and the rook. And so yeah, that's the thing. b4 removes the control of this e6 square in that line. So now the queen goes to control this e6 square. That's why he played this move. Capablanca plays b4 anyway. The knight goes to d7. If the knight went to e4, this is actually kind of an issue. There's knight takes on c6, b takes on c6. He can take on e4. And maybe it looks like, black is getting some initiative back, but then just queen c2 here. And yeah, there's the king is open. The position's not very good. And also, yeah, there's also pressure here. So this is really tough. So in any case, knight to d7 was played. Capablanca beats b5 here. A better way. So he's playing on the wing, and that's fine. It's not risking anything and not risking the queen's placement behind the rook. But believe it or not, this counterintuitive e4 could have been considered here. And then you can exchange on c6, getting a structural edge, and then knight takes an e4. And there's no good discoveries here. This knight's not going anywhere either there or here. Like, you can just go queen e2 on knight c5 at least, at least. But in any case, so yeah, so e4, yeah. Anyway, so b5 was played. So now his opponent plays a takes on b5, and Capablanca takes the c knight. Maybe knight c7 is kind of a threat. The king is a little bit unsafe here, or even knight f knight c7 is kind of a threat. Um, hmm. So the opponent plays this, trying to defend like this, but this is kind of a mistake. Knight c5 was a better way to go to defend the c7 square and block things up here. The knight's more active too, and it can go to even e4 here. Like it's still a game, but I think white's still better here, like by a lot, or not a lot, but like just like white's better. It's not hugely better, but better. But knight to b8, and this is undeveloping the piece, so this gives more advantage to Capablanca. And so, what move would you guys consider here? If you're watching on YouTube, this is a nice way to pause. This is a really nice tactic that Capablanca plays in this game, further increasing this advantage. And so Capablanca plays knight e6, and this is pretty strong. And so his opponent took on b5 here. And so yeah, rook d7 actually fails to f5, securing this knight. And the thing is, the c8 square is still covered, or by our rook. Like so, bishop takes on b5, rook c8 check, and the position's just falling apart here. We're threatening to take on d6 and mate. Oh, hello, Austin Connor. How's it going? Yeah, so I was going through this Capablanca move by move series. And so I'm trying to finish this game number 9 in the book, Kappa on the Attack. And so yeah, this is a really nice tactic that Capablanca plays in this particular game. C7 is really weak, and so the piece is immune, and like the weak squares make it like really hard to capture this stuff. So yeah, I guess his opponent so anyway, the most critical test has played. His opponent captures on b5, and Cabal executes with knight to c7 here, just winning back the bishop at least. And the king is now misplaced. And so king to d7 was played. The king is now committed on the queen side, which is worse. It's a really bad spot, I think. Objectively, the king should be on the king side here, as in that Fischer game, which I can show if needed. But so king to d7, and now knight takes b5. So now black's position is a disaster, I guess. And he starts to fall apart. And so knight to c6 was played. Capablanca uses the pin with e4, trying to blast things open. The king tries to escape to c8. And Capablanca goes queen a4, maybe threatening queen to a8. And that's huge threat. So king to b8 was played. He artificially castles here. But now I think there's maybe another way to continue this attack. And so this is a good time to pause, or I'm going to stop, maybe pause for a bit, and this is a good time to think, what would you play here as white? It's really nice. There's lots of ideas in this position, I think. Hmm. Hmm. I think there's several nice candidate moves here. So if you're watching YouTube, this would be a good time to pause, but in any case, I'll reveal the solution. So let's see. there's two candidate moves. So rook takes on c6 doesn't work because just queen defends along that second rank. But there's another move that does the same purpose, with the same idea. And the move here is actually bishop to d4. Just trying to go on a7 here. Um, and it's another attacker going into the game. And the thing is, the knight can't take it because that's mate. Just queen a7 mate. Um, yeah, and so bishop to d6 was played. Wait, where am I? I lost the place. There we go. And Capablanca goes for e5 here, and the bishop goes to c7. And it's really, really awkwardly defending here. The king is very, very unsafe. And yeah, this bishop is actually interfering with the defense of everything here. So now this is another time to pause. Like pause. Think like if you're watching YouTube, but pause and find the next combination here. Yeah, this is a really nice one. So the move here actually was so because this bishop is interfering with the queen's defense down h7, this logically makes sense here. Rook takes on c6, b takes on c6, and now we need to see another part of this follow-up here. What's the key move here? This is another time to pause and think, but in any case, this is the whole point of the combination. It's actually not queen a7, believe it or not. We want to play e6, covering this escape square. And the problem is that the queen can't really take it, I think. And so let's see. Queen e7 was played in the game, but yeah, if the queen takes, I think this is really bad. I think what is it? Oh, this is mate. It's removing the defender. Um, and also yeah, so this removes the escape square, and so now this is kind of a forced mate. I think. Well, Queen a7, King c8 was played. And so Capablanca plays Queen a8 check, Bishop to b8, and yeah, a better way to do this was Queen a6 check, King to there, and then there's this nice idea, forcing the King to a8, and then you take over the light square diagonal and mate him like that. But in case Capablanca plays Queen a8, and then Queen c6, Queen e8, and this c7 square is dropping here. It's going to be rook takes. And so his opponent resigned, and that was a good way to end the game against his opponent, Mr. A. I don't know the first name, but in the book it's A. Israel. So yeah, I guess I could do a quick summary of this game. So first he starts off with this central e5 strategy here, and instead of playing this d3, knight d2, and knight e5 idea like Fischer, this is more of a positional approach. Capablanca decides to directly attack the center and create a weakness. And it actually works out because his opponent was supposed to take and prevent any weakness or anything from being attacked, and also prevent these already developed pieces from being making use of this position. Like he's opening the position because he's ahead in development, and that's a very common old thing. And so yeah, and his opponent's kind of not developing, and that's another mistake he's been doing. Like there were times his opponent could have tried to bail out or just had a slightly worse position, but he would have at least gotten developed. But that didn't happen, and Capablanca eventually just broke through like this because his opponent just wasn't improving their position, and yeah, and then he found mate like this. He converted the advantage to a mate once the position stagnated. Yeah, it was a good game. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I think it was instructive. For me personally, I think the weird thing about chess is it's becoming more concrete nowadays. And so, for example, like like f5. It's more of a modern move. But I think these general ideas are very nice to learn from in any case. So I'm gonna end the stream actually. This is gonna go on YouTube, I think, for the series. And yeah. So thank you for watching. Good luck with your chess, and bye for now. Let's see. Yep.